Murray's approach was basically, oh, well, that sounds like revisionist history, and that's a conspiracy theory, and, the kinds of things that the people who hate the West say. Questioning history isn't revisionism. In my own lifetime, this was formative for me in my childhood after 9/11. In 2002 and 2003, the US government told us that Saddam Hussein had weapons of mass destruction. They said he was hiding nuclear programs, stockpiling chemical weapons, and he was a grave threat to world peace. And he had even been, basically cohorts with in those who operated 9/11, right? Trying to link Iraq to Al-Qaeda at 9/11. And what happened? We invaded, we bombed them. We have hundreds of thousands dead in Iraq over the entire period of time that America's been meddling there. And when the dust settled, we see no weapons of mass destruction, no nukes, no evidence of anything. It was all a lie. And it was not a mistake. It was the crafting of a narrative, crafted to justify an unjust war, an unjust intervention. This matters for Christians. This is not fringe stuff I'm talking about here. We're not talking about, wild speculation or conspiracy theories. We're talking about two of the most well-documented examples in American history where the official narrative turned out to be false, and it wasn't even hidden for long. Iraq and the weapons of mass destruction, this was a lie. And many even admitted that it was a lie, that they didn't have good evidence, but that something they felt was necessary to do to capitalize on the energy and the support from the American people after 9/11 to carry out a lot of the regime change that a lot of the neocon establishment and thinkers had already been planning on doing and wanting to do. And a lot of this was on behest of Israel, which, that's a whole history I don't have time to get into. I recommend that book right there, Enough Already by Scott Horton, to go into that history. And again, remember the Maine, a war cry built on a story we now know is false. So, and if this is what empires admit to doing when the truth finally comes out, how much more cautious should we be when new narratives get pushed on us in real time? And so this is why, as Christians, we can't blindly accept the official stories. A good scripture to bring up here is Proverbs 18:17, which says, "The one who states his case first seems right until the other comes and examines him." Paul tells us in 1 Thessalonians 5:21 to test all things, hold fast to what is good. If we believe Christ is king and that his kingdom is not of this world, then we can't just blindly trust the kingdoms of this world to tell the truth, especially when their power and their interests are on the line.